So the squat guide can also be used to help develop great lunge pattern as well. And often when we're lunging, when I watch people lunge, whether it's a forward lunge, a reverse lunge, or even a lateral lunge, we see that same kind of medial collapse happening at the hip, knee, and ankle, meaning that as they lunge back, they come in, their knee dives in, their foot collapses, and we go into an impingement position at the hip, okay? So the squat guide can also be used to help develop proper lunge position and pattern. So how I would use this and how I use this in my clinic is I'll just simply take one of the sides away. We'll just get this guy out of the way. I'm going to set up my foot position a little bit different when I'm working with a lunge. So the squat, during the squat, I have my toe kind of all the way up into the corner. With the lunge, I'm going to have my foot a little bit more straight forward, or I'll just have it straight forward. I'm still going to be touching that front rail, but I'm not necessarily going to be touching the outside of my foot on the outside rail. I'm going to start in a little bit more narrow stance, and right now I'm going to show you how I do a reverse lunge. So the same parameters happen here. I want to avoid contact with that front knee guide, and I want to try to sustain contact with the outside knee guide. And if someone has a bigger, bulkier leg, you may need to get them further on the inside of this stance plate. And if they're a slender person, you can have them a little bit more out towards that lateral rail. So it kind of depends on the user, but it should be able to accommodate just about anybody. So as I take a step back into my lunge, again, I want to avoid that medial collapse. So as I have my user step back, I'm going to cue them to just maintain contact here. So there's really no advantage to pushing really far out in the lunge, okay? But if we do sustain contact, I know the knee is in a good position, my hip's nice and open, I'm activating my hip muscles, and again, I'm staying away from medial collapse. So all I want to do here in the lunge position is sustain contact with that outside rail, avoid contact with the front rail, and return to standing. So if I had them do a few reps, I'd want them to maintain contact. When they stand up, yeah, you'll come off, but as soon as you go back down, you should be able to engage this lateral guide, okay? So a few reps would look like so. Again, each time maintaining contact. So that's how we can simply alter this device to change to a completely different movement pattern and work on a reverse lunge. And if we had a sliding area, we could do lateral lunges too, which are great because as we slide out, it's easy to let this medial collapse happen. So again, but the same rules apply. I want to avoid contact in the front, maintain contact in the back. So if I was doing a lateral lunge, I'd be going down and meeting those two criteria. So SquatGuide can be used for squatting, but it's also a great tool to use for lunging as well, to pick up and maintain and establish great mechanics with the lunge.